Hello, Michael Swain here after Kansas football's 42-17 loss to Kansas State. Obviously, I'm not at the game. I'm in one of my best friend's weddings, but I've been able to watch the full game, and that was about as bad as things could go for KU. Outside of the first 5 minutes, a pretty uncompetitive performance. Obviously, KU's able to get it close going into halftime, but then coming out of the half, just nothing going for KU. And again, this is about as bad as it could have gone for this team overall. Coming off a bye week, you got plenty of time to prepare for this game, right? Traditionally, Lance Leipold's been great coming off bye weeks, 5-0 since the start of the 2022 season. And yet today was a day where it just looked like KU was wholly unprepared. You know, Joel Klanderman for K-State, the defensive coordinator, I thought had a great game plan. It seemed like they just played man coverage on the outside and really trying to challenge, Jalen to beat him. And Jalen did not have a very good game at all. Probably his worst game since Baylor of last year. Maybe you want to go all the way back to maybe a TCU of last year. A really poor performance from him, and it was a game where it looked like he was pressing, right? Trying to force the ball down the field a couple times. Interceptions were dropped when he was late on reads. You need your quarterback to play at his best in this game. If you're going to snap a streak like KU has, you need an A game from your quarterback, and KU didn't get that. Now, you can look at the other side defensively and say you gave up 42 points in this game. And it's another game where KU defensively just really struggled to be consistent. Sure, they forced some punts, but was there ever a point in the game where you felt like the defense was going to be able to consistently get stops? I didn't feel that in this one. So where does this leave KU? Well, look, the path to bowl eligibility is there, but man, just a lack of consistency from this team is super concerning. It's also concerning that this is the first time since probably 2021 that you've looked at this game and said, man, KU was outplayed, out-physicaled in the trenches, out-executed. And again, just flat out outplayed, right? 2022 special teams mishaps put KU behind the ball. They played better in the second half. It was at times an even game, 23-24, right? We've talked about those games ad nauseum. Even ball games, ones that KU had their chance to win and KU did not take advantage. And this is the first time, again, since 2021, Lance Leipold's first year that KU's been uncompetitive in this game. And these are benchmark games for KU. They really are, because you're playing K-State every year. This is a down K-State team. Yep, they're figuring things out. They are figuring things out, no doubt about it. But still, it's a bad result and a really, really poor performance. So where does this leave this season for KU? You play Oklahoma State next week. They suck. So KU should win that game. And if they don't win that game, then you are smashing that panic button big time. And it comes down to a 3-game season. Can you win one game on the road at either Arizona or Iowa State, or can you beat Utah at home? I don't know. And look, if this ends up being a 5-7 season for KU, that's a big time. It's a big time miss because Jalen Daniels is gone after this year, and you have questions about who's going to be the quarterback at Kansas. And you just have questions about where things are going to look for the next year, unless KU goes big in the transfer portal. But a lot of the money for KU is tied up right in the 2026 recruiting class. So there's just a lot of questions now where you look at this season. If KU does not make it to a bowl game, you're just wondering, man, not when's the next time KU's going to make a bowl game, but just where is the program at overall? And so it's a disappointing one for KU. Obviously, we'll listen in to see what Lance Leipold has to say. I don't think it's going to be a very joyous press conference, and it's going to be a down one. So for KU, it's all about bouncing back now. You got to go beat Oklahoma State. You got to go on the road at Arizona and put together a complete performance. You can't let this game now define the rest of your season and be a reason why, you don't make a bowl game or have broader issues or a broader collapse right to end the year. So still games to play for KU, but if you wanted to go into this game and say what's the worst case scenario for KU in this one, it's your quarterback doesn't play well, your defense is inconsistent, you make more special teams mistakes, and you look just totally outclassed in terms of preparation. Those are 4 things I got on my fingers here. All 4 went wrong. So not great for KU. Again, about bouncing back now and looking forward. But this is a concerning loss, I think, for KU overall. So that's what I got. Real quick video. Obviously, Jack Ritter's done a great job today. He's got you all covered with all the content on fog.net. I'll be back on the saddle Sunday morning. Get you all plenty to think about, plenty to talk about for this game. We'll do a podcast with Kevin Flaherty. So obviously, make sure you're checking that all out. Thanks so much for watching the videos. We'll talk to you all soon.